Electroheads, Eilis here, and I'm afraid I've got some frustrating news.
No! God, please, no!
In a time when soaring prices have thrown more and more people into financial trouble, the world of EVs is also taking a hit. According to the latest reports, the price of electric cars are set to rise. I'm going to talk you through everything that I know and what it means for the foreseeable future. And I really want to hear from you guys on this one. Is a price rise going to put you off from buying an electric car, or do the other benefits outweigh the cost, especially with petrol costing almost more than actual gold at the moment? Make sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you enjoy this video, because we've got a lot more where that comes from. As we've been discussing lately on the channel, battery tech is fast becoming the new battleground for car manufacturers and is the key to converting petrol heads from the dark side to the ways of electric mobility. Basically, whichever car maker can offer the best range, the quickest charging times, at the most competitive prices, will win the game. Batteries have already come a long way since the early days of the modern electric car. The first mass-produced and purpose-designed EV, the 1996 General Motors EV1, had a stated range of between 70 to 100 miles from new and needed a specialist high-voltage charging unit. These days, plenty of electric cars have a range of well over 300 miles, with the Mercedes EQS not far off 500 miles. And hand in hand with amazing leaps in range and brilliant bounds in charging times, prices have come down and down, which has been just as crucial to persuading buyers to swap petrol for electric. And one of the reasons for that is because battery tech has gotten cheaper and cheaper. As you probably already know, the battery makes up a huge percentage of the cost of the car itself, and since 1991, the price of lithium-ion batteries used in most EVs has dropped by a staggering 97%. That's an astonishing drop. But there's a problem on the horizon, because for the first time since the EV industry really got going, the cost of batteries is now likely to go up. So why, after years and years of falling prices, is that trend about to go into reverse? Well, making EV batteries is no walk in the park. It's a complex business that needs things like nickel, cobalt, lithium, graphite, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Okay, no, not the last three, but definitely the others. And all these precious metals and minerals have to come out of the ground from mines, but not enough of those exotic sounding materials are being extracted to keep up with demand, which keeps on rising as EVs become more and more popular. EV sales doubled in 2021 to around 6.6 million, and that figure is predicted to be up to 20 million by 2025. And carry on rising. Vice President of Battery Solutions at US-based research outfit eSource puts it like this: the tsunami of demand is coming, and I don't think the battery industry is ready for it. There is a literal shortage of lithium, and there's going to be an even sharper shortage of lithium. You cannot make batteries if you don't mine the lithium, says Sam. Experts say this is no surprise, as the rise in demand for EVs has been forecast for ages, and everyone expected the market to correct itself by opening up a load more mines. But as of yet, that hasn't really happened, despite plenty of pleading from EV manufacturers.
Please, sir, I want some more.
Including Elon Musk, who was beating this drum back in 2020. The shortage has gotten so severe that eSource says the cost of lithium has risen almost 900% in the last 18 months, and they predict that battery cell costs could keep rising until 2026 before leveling off again. Supply chain problems and sanctions on Russian producers because of the war in Ukraine have already been pushing costs up, with battery prices soaring to an estimated $160 per kilowatt hour in the first quarter of 2022, up from $105 last year. And with margins in the battery industry already super tight, manufacturers will have no choice but to pass on these rises to the people buying the cars, aka you and me. This is already actually happening, and because the battery makes up such a big part of the price of an EV in the first place, these aren't small rises. For example, the growing battery costs have led to the price of the Hongwang Mini, the best-selling EV in China, to go up by almost $1,500, which, given it's such a cheap car to begin with, that's a whopping 30% rise. And manufacturers everywhere will have to follow suit. But despite this, EV sales are still rising and are predicted to carry on going up. even if some analysts think that the rate may slow down just a little as a result of the price increasing. Let's take a closer look at the figures. Back in 2012, about 130,000 electric cars were sold worldwide. Today, that many are sold every single week. There are estimated to be about 16 million EVs on the road today, but the International Energy Agency reckons that figure will rise to between 148 million and 230 million by the end of the decade. So if the industry is already having trouble keeping up with demand for battery materials, how is it going to cope with the tsunami of EV sales expected in the next few years? Well, first off, there's going to be more mining. Where there's a high demand, there's money to be made, so more mines will open. And that process is already happening, particularly in Australia, where lithium is a key export. But it's not just as easy as opening up a bunch of new mines. On average, it takes up to 16 years to take a new mine from the planning stage to actual production. You could grow a whole human from scratch in that time, so it's not going to solve the problem overnight. But necessity, as they say, is the mother of invention, so we could also see some genuinely innovative solutions coming to the fore here, like the battery being developed by Scandinavian forestry company Stora Enso, which is, I kid you not, partly based on a tree pulping byproduct and eliminates the need for mined graphite. That one is super cool and I did a whole video about it, so make sure to check that video out after this one by clicking the link right here. Manufacturers are also busy developing new battery tech that is less reliant on some of the most expensive and morally questionable mined metals like cobalt, and is cheaper overall like lithium iron phosphate or LFP batteries, which Tesla and Ford are leading the way on for their more affordable models. But could there be another answer out there that could drastically cut down on the amount of stuff car makers will need to rip out of the ground to build new EV batteries? What if I told you there was already tons and tons of nickel, lithium, cobalt and graphite already out on the ground and currently sitting in all sorts of places like garages, driveways and possibly even on the road you live on? Yep, every EV currently out there has a battery in the bottom packed with all those precious metals and minerals, and one day those batteries will all be old and tired and ready for the scrap heap. And as I explained in this video, there is a burgeoning industry out there looking to give these old EV batteries a second life once they drop below the capacity needed for a car. They're already being used in a host of weird and wonderful ways, including boats, solar farms, apartment blocks and even top-flight football stadiums. Some experts reckon some 75% of old EV batteries could end up having a second life in another setting, but eventually, after every little electron has been squeezed out of them, they will become spent. And at that point, it would make sense to recycle them and extract all those precious metals and minerals held inside in order to make new EV batteries, right? And couldn't that be the answer to the shortages the industry is facing and cut down on all that nasty old mining, as well as solving the problem of what to do with all those old batteries? The ultimate sustainability triple whammy. Imagine an endless cycle of reusing and then recycling old EV batteries into new ones to create a truly sustainable and environmentally friendly industry. Sounds amazing, right? Problem solved. Yeah? All good then. Well, actually, not really. Because there are problems with this beautiful Sunshine Candy Floss rainbow recycling dream. At the moment, the amount of EV batteries that are recycled is pretty low. Accurate and up-to-date figures are hard to come by here, but in 2019, the US Department of Energy reckoned that less than 5% of lithium-ion batteries were recycled in America, and it's thought to be a lot lower than that elsewhere in the world. And that is because recycling EV batteries is a tricky old business. They're massive, bulky things stuffed full of hazardous materials and usually not designed with recycling in mind, which makes doing it even harder. That's what she said. And that's once you've actually got into them, which also isn't easy. Some are welded together, others held together by super strong glues, or even in Tesla's case, almost indestructible cement. Cut one open in the wrong way and it could short circuit and release toxic fumes or even catch on fire. So you have to be very, very careful and very precise, and that takes time. To give you an example, Nissan's rectangular Leaf battery module can take 2 hours to dismantle. And the fact they're so massive and heavy is another problem. There aren't currently many facilities equipped to do this kind of work, which means the dead batteries need to be shipped around, which has to happen by truck, not plane, because they're so big and heavy. In fact, one study reckons about 40% of overall cost of recycling is in transportation alone. Oh, and the cherry QQ on the ice cream, if you didn't get that reference, then check this video out right here. They're all different, both in terms of design, construction, and the materials and chemistry inside, so it's very hard to scale up efficient and economic ways of dismantling and recycling them because the needs of each manufacturer vary so wildly. So it's a bit of a challenge, but it can be done, and this is how it usually works. So once you've got the battery to a recycling centre, they're broken down into their different parts and shredded, and then broken down even further using heat or chemicals before the valuable bits like the nickel, manganese, cobalt and lithium can be extracted. And while it's not an easy process, there is a lot of material out there that could be reused. In fact, the American Department of Energy reckons that recycled material could provide 1/3 of United States cathode material needs for lithium-ion batteries by 2030, with that figure rising to 50% 10 years after that. And they don't want to see that opportunity wasted, so governments are starting to wake up to this. Just last month, the US government announced a $60 million program to help spur this industry on, while the EU is proposing new regulations that would force manufacturers to get serious about it, with proposals to mandate 70% of old battery collection and recovery rates of 95% for cobalt, copper, lead and nickel, 70% for lithium, and enforced minimum levels of recycled material in new batteries by 2030. The Chinese are ahead of the game on this, and in 2018 made manufacturers themselves responsible for ensuring batteries are recycled. And as a result, China now recycles more lithium batteries than the rest of the world combined. And car makers in the West are getting on board. Volkswagen is working towards a target of recycling 97% of battery components, while Renault is already recycling all their electric car batteries. And they're not fussy, they will process units from other manufacturers too. Tesla as well is building recycling capabilities at its Gigafactory in Nevada, and Tesla's co-founder JB Stauble's Redwood Materials raised $700 million in funding last year to expand their EV battery recycling operations, with Ford and Volvo among the collaborators. This is a part of the EV industry that experts are predicting is on the cusp of massive growth. In 2017, the global EV battery recycling market was valued at around $139 million, but that figure is expected to grow to over $2 billion within the next 3 years. And the opportunities are immense. If the boffins can streamline and economize the whole process of recycling, it could help with supply issues and help solve the problem of what to do with all the millions of old batteries we'll soon have on our hands. What's more, unlike some materials like plastic, there is no limit on how many times the critical minerals in lithium-ion batteries can be recycled. So once they've been reused once, it can happen again and again with no loss of quality, creating an endlessly reusable supply chain. So the prize for getting this right is a big one, but the challenges are real, and it's not going to solve the price rise issue EV buyers are facing in the next year or two. But with petrol and diesel prices also going through the roof right now, could an EV still be the more economical option? Rich actually goes into that exact question rather nicely in this video right here. But I really want to hear from you on this one. Even with EV prices set to rise, would you still take the plunge, or is it a deal breaker for you? Would you wait until prices stabilize and start to fall again, or do you see this as an opportunity to get in now and buy an EV before prices go up even more? Let me know down in the comments. And if you're new here, then hit that subscribe button so that you can stay up to date with all the latest EV news and reviews a la Electroheads. See you soon.